You're listening to the Betoota Advocates Weekly News Wrap on Desert Rock FM 96.5.
Welcome back to the Betoota Advocates Weekly Bulletin. There's a lot going on in the world. January's over. It's all over. We're into the year. You can't talk about, getting back into the swing of things. It's all expected of you at this point. This is probably the engine room of the year right now. There's no sport on.
There's the India tour just about to start, but I know how much you despise Test cricket, especially when it's overseas.
I do.
I believe there was some surfing as well, Clancy. Yeah.
Yawn.
Boring.
Yeah.
No, not much. Reality television obviously takes hold. We're in reality television season.
Yeah, we won't say any names though.
How have you been doing the
We're not
maths?
being paid to, so we're not saying any names.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But yes, I'm watching them all.
Yeah, how you been jumping? You do maths and then watch Survivor recaps?
What did I just say?
Sorry. I got carried away.
Yeah, no, I've really been getting into my maths too. I've been, you can
Long
get
division?
You can get this stuff from Bing Lee or Harvey Norman, both great sponsors of the show. It's like this compressed air in a can that you can use to clean all of your electronics. Like I use it to spray out my desktop computer after especially long sort of marathon sessions of World of Warcraft and things like that. But anyway, in this can there's like propellant, and you can put that into a plastic bag, and then you spray the air cleaner into a bag, and then you can turn on a show like Maths or Survivor or something like that, and you can huff on this bag, and it makes it watchable.
Really?
Yeah.
What does it do to your brain? Is there any concerns there? Does it put holes in them or not?
Well, for each episode you watch, I think it's, the CTE equivalent of playing 100 games.
Because that's my
of
concern,
NRL,
right? Like
yeah.
maths does put holes in your brain.
Well,
so if you're
the jury's out.
doing...
Is it the bag that you're huffing, or is it the actual
Well, I'm just
content?
worried about doubling down and doing double damage.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That is true.
Do I just enjoy the bag and not watch
Put the
maths?
plastic bag over your head and then
Well,
put your
mate,
belt
look,
around at the bottom.
If you do too much bag, then you'll end up like that cat off Bad Boy Bubby.
I've actually never seen that movie. I saw the trailer and I decided I never wanted to watch that.
It's exactly like...
It's been troubling Errol this week.
Really, that's been sitting on his conscience.
It's exactly like an episode of Mr. Bean that goes for 2 hours that is set in Adelaide.
It's actually relevant to this first story we're going to lead with, isn't it?
Well, it is to a degree, and it's actually of an era, Bad Boy Bubby, when we almost look back and we thank Howard for stripping back the funding from Screen Australia. Because films like this were just getting made.
Well, technically that one was made under Keating, which
Well,
speaks volumes of both, I think. I think that's
Howard
it's a movie that
corrected-
could only happen under Keating. I think
There'd be plenty of people who say that's blasphemy to say that about a Rolf de Heer movie, wouldn't they?
There would be people, but you've got to watch it. Like,
No, I don't want to watch it. It sounds awful.
I think people who like Rolf de Heer's movies are like the people who keep Renault and Peugeot alive in this country.
Yeah, okay.
Just
Volvo drivers as well?
Volvo drivers.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't seen a Volvo around here for years.
are you aware that some people collect Citroens?
I am aware they're the same people who keep the canned air people in business too. I think there's a direct correlation between owning a French car and having holes on the brain too.
Back to Bad Boy Bubby, and we kick off with a national story, which was the story of the week. There was a debacle down in Sydney when the Pell funeral procession accidentally took the body to the cathedral instead of landfill, where the cunt belongs.
Yes, it was a mix-up that left many mourners angry and confused after they lined the streets of Erskine Park in Sydney's west to pay their respects before the convicted pedophile was expected to be laid to rest under a pile of fermented nappies and kitchen scraps.
Instead, unfortunately, his body was taken to St Mary's Cathedral in the heart of Sydney, where it was paraded around in front of politicians and high-ranking public servants, media personalities and such, where they all got the opportunity to pay their final respects to someone they loved, after they cut off all the ribbons for survivors of sex abuse victims, of course.
Yeah, it was a dark day in Sydney down there. Lost a lot of followers on our social media channels after a couple of those stories. Well, a lot of people said they were unfollowing, whether they did so or not.
It's just hard news. It's hard facts. So,
Yeah,
in this
it'll be
day
very
and
hard
age,
Calling pedophiles, it's just kind of
It'll be
left-wing
very
madness,
hard
isn't it?
to break that to the shareholders. We might have to put a trading halt on our shares on the ASX.
They just want us to go pro-pedophile like the New York Times. We're not doing it.
Or the Glebe Morning Herald.
Or Channel 10.
Let's change it up. We're going to go all the way to the other side of the country and over in Western Australia. That missing radioactive capsule has been immediately found by the truck driver's mum after she took a proper look.
Believe it or not, there was some good news this week. Mining giants and sacred cave destroyers Rio Tinto have confirmed that the tiny radioactive capsule that went missing on a remote stretch of Western Australian highway has been found. And that was after an exhaustive week-long search.
Yes, it's been the story of the week over there in the Democratic People's Republic of Western Australia. And thankfully, the truck driver's mum, whose eyes aren't painted on, managed to sort the situation out after going and having a proper look around.
And she managed to find it without a single device, unlike all the fancy scientists with their buzzers and detectors.
It turned out it was right where he left it. So thanks, Mum, for sorting that one out.
In the drink holder.
I thought it was under a pair of underpants on the side of the road. Or a Gatorade bottle full of truck driver's urine.
Could have
Nice blood orange hue of a dehydrated truck driver.
Looks just like apple juice. Now, we've got a story from here in town, and a local boyfriend has absolutely nailed it with Moonlight Cinema tickets and a woolly sushi platter.
The Casanova of the Channel Country. North Betoota Heights man by the name of Jamie Kurtzworthy has surprised his partner with some much-needed romance this week, and so romantic was the gesture that it made headlines in our very own newspaper.
Yes, he managed to snag tickets to the Moonlight Cinema showing of 10 Things I Hate About You on the big outdoor screen inside Betoota Wetlands, and he turned up with some la-di-da sushi. Also, he had a box of clinkers as well. So it's a bit of a, this is, he's kind of set the high water mark here ahead of Valentine's Day for the rest of the town.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that in the comments. They were quite concerned. Christian Lucas said his favourite part of this story is that he was reading it and hoping his girlfriend hadn't seen the post, because I think he wanted to step it up a notch for a date night and do that, maybe anniversary or something like that. Also had the chicken Caesar sushi, so he went all out. He didn't just go the plain chicken and avocado, he went chicken Caesar, which is the finest of Woolworths sushi.
That is the finest. It's even nicer than the plant-based chicken replacement one.
I like the Parmesan heavy aioli that they put on the chicken Caesar.
It's quite authentic, I believe. That's very popular in Tokyo.
Kewpie mayonnaise.
Kewpie.
But they
Queenslanders.
make it Susie. They make it
Cheesy mayonnaise.
yeah, Parmesan.
Parmesan cheesy mayonnaise. It's a win-win combo, and selling out around Woolworths around the country. Now we're going to finish up with a sports story, and a universally loved athlete has united the sporting world with a euphoric comeback win.
Yes, sport fans around the nation and the world were joyfully dancing in unison on Sunday night after a stirring sporting victory. Even if you aren't a sports ball fan, you were probably aware of the feats of Novak Djokovic at the Australian Open, who managed to secure his 10th title in front of a packed house in Melbourne.
And after missing last year's tournament, it was a victory for the modern-day Muhammad Ali, who was willing to stand firm for his morals and overcome the highest of sporting pinnacles.
Take that, Bill Gates. We saw you staring in the crowd. Sorry that you can't control everyone.
Lick my nuts, Bill.
A nice note to finish on. Hope you enjoyed the news wrap. Talk to you soon.
Hooray!
Mahalo.